We are part of the Fired Up Sports Network of shows. Please check out other Fired Up Sports Network podcasts like the P-Lot Pod, Water Cooler Talk, Bell Smashers, Philly Sports Love and Pain, Drunk on Broad, Beer Battered Sports, and the Fired Up Sports Show, which are available on all major podcasting hosting sites and social media. Also, check out Mark Ramos' Roundup on Fired Up Sports.com, which breaks down the happenings going on with all your favorite local teams.
Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions.
E-A-G-L-E-S Eagles!
Swinging a miss, struck him out. The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Flyers are going to win the Stanley Cup. The Flyers win the Stanley Cup for the lead. Yes! Iverson, wow, what a fake off Daniels as he broke his ankles and got all the way to the cup.
What up?
Oh, hey. Hey, guys. Hey,
What's-
didn't see you there.
What's going on?
Welcome to Drunk on Broad. Today, we're going to be working on crocheting
What?
loser hats for the Giants. You
Drink
got to
that
do like
one.
all Martha Stewart one. Like, got to be like really like, because their fan base is like on the verge of already offing themselves. So, like, we got to like calm them down. But the Eagles are still the Super Bowl fucking champions. So it doesn't matter.
Man. I mean, listen. when that news busted out earlier in the week that Jameis Winston is a quarterback that they bring in,
I got excited.
I was like, "Ooh, our interception numbers are going to be nice.
Yeah.
You get to play them. You get to play them twice a year. Ooh, okay." And then they bring in Russell Wilson. Like, did New York just miss the message completely? Like, Pittsburgh had both of those guys.
Yeah.
And they said no thank you to both of them. And both New York teams said, yes, please.
No. Pittsburgh had Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. Jameis Winston was with Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Don.
Come on,
But they
Don.
both went to New York, though. Justin
Who?
Fields went to the Jets.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. They play in the same area. My bad, Don.
It's all the same.
It's cool.
It's all the
Listen,
same. But I was fucking. You're talking about Jameis Winston here, all right? Put some respect on the GOAT. Put some respect on him. Yeah, dude, he eats W's. He does crazy things. He's fucking hilarious, dude. And honestly, I was looking at it. I'm not looking at the Giants being relevant for a long time, but for like a fantasy standpoint, I was like, damn, he's going to be throwing the ball to Neighbors all the time. Like, let's go. So I was like, all right, Neighbors locked in as like a wide receiver one for me this year. If it was Jameis Winston, now it's Russell Wilson. And I'm like, fucking Christ, Neighbors is going to suck. There's no like that. The problem with New York is you don't have an offensive line. You have a suspect as fuck running game, and you literally did nothing to address anything in free agency.
Yeah.
Except bring in two quarterbacks, one who can't throw the ball, one who wants to throw the ball all the time 100 yards. You solved no problem. And you're paying the guys, what, combined, I think, like 16 million a year or something? Combined?
Yeah.
No, Wilson's is 21.
A year?
It's like 10 guaranteed.
I think Wilson's is 21. I don't know what Winston's numbers are. I'm pretty sure that Wilson's is 21.
That's disgusting. I would not.
That quarterback room is gross.
And they, I think, extended DeVito too, which is like the funny thing. So they have three quarterbacks on their roster who, if you put them together, they're still a below average quarterback. And they're all signed for 2 years, which makes absolutely no sense because Why would you sign DeVito to an extension and then sign Winston to 2 years and I think 2 years for Russell Wilson?
Well, that to me
It's fucking dumb.
is fun.
Well,
Well,
look who's
one,
doing it. I
Well,
it's
mean,
dumb.
yeah. Joe,
I
that's
mean,
I mean,
guys,
how Joe Shane and Brian Dable still have jobs is beyond me. I mean, I'm sure they got some blackmail pictures in a in a file cabinet tucked away, going, yeah, we can do whatever we want. It's really it makes absolutely no sense. The only other thing that I think would make this more poetically confusing is if they draft Shador Sanders, like, and you just make it stupidly complex. You just make it dumb.
I love when bad organizations stay bad because of like this shit
Oh
right here.
God.
It's you look at the talent and then you go, okay, instead of just saying fuck it, burn it down, they go, okay, well now we're gonna sign guys to big money or like big ish money and act like we're gonna be able to compete. So you're putting a message out there saying, okay, no, we're a team that's going to compete, but you only addressed one concern. And then Brian Dabble is still going to be the coach of that team when they again go 4-13. Like, it
I
makes
mean,
no fucking sense. Like,
no, when you look at their depth chart, man, it's bleak.
brutal.
It's really bad.
their team
Like
sucks.
like Tyrone Tracy, Devin Singletary, right? Besides the neighbors, you're talking about Wandell Robinson, Darius Slayton, Theo Johnson. Like you have like one
Trash.
of their big guys that they brought in was Zach Pascal.
Oof.
Like they took a bad team and got worse.
Wait, Zach Pascal's on their team?
No,
Yeah,
he went to the He went to the Giants.
Giants.
In
Right.
free agency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? He's like
Of
fucking.
of all the guys that are still available, I mean, you could have had a guy even like an Elisha Moore who still would have been, who had a good year with crappy Cleveland last year. They're just both of those guys are sitting ducks. Their general manager and Brian Dable are both. Well, it's. I mean, all this roots back to the owner too. It's just he's 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 lost it. He's completely lost it. So, I mean, it explains why the general manager and the coach are still there. So,
Yeah.
it's going to be a turnstile, baby.
I'm
Oh,
excited because it's Eagles are just going to get 2 dubs. So like I'm not. I mean, we were going to get 2 dubs regardless of who it is, but it just makes it that much easier. And yeah, Zach Pascal. I didn't know Zach Pascal went there. I didn't even know Zach Pascal played last year in the league.
I
I
think it was
remember when he was with
there
us, and that was like fucking 4 years ago.
that was
with us.
at
Yeah,
least
I think he was on
at
Arizona.
least 3 years ago.
Yeah, he's been, but I mean, he's pretty much been irrelevant. But
Yeah,
when you're a bad team, you're scooping up players like that, and you're paying. What they gave Slayton 3 for 36.
same money they should have gave Saquon.
Yeah, yeah, maybe an average receiver, sometimes slightly above, sometimes, but on a horrendous team with a horrendous organization. But hey, here you go. Here's $12 million a year.
The Giants have one outside wide receiver and then like 4 slot guys. Like Wandell Robinson, I don't think caught the ball longer than like 2 yards down the field last year. Like he had, I think the one game it was
Yeah.
like 11 catches for like 33 yards because the only thing they were doing was a 2-yard pass every
And
single fucking
no
time,
O line.
and no O line.
You don't. The quarterback doesn't have time to throw, and they're going to throw because they don't have a run game. So
I cannot wait to watch our defense play them. I cannot wait. It is going to be fantastic. Saquon, you are such a smart man. You are just such a smart man. God,
Yeah, I mean,
beautiful thing.
and to talk about another bad team that's getting worse, let's talk about the Cowboys,
Oh, the
right?
bums.
Because the Cowboys, they
Here.
bring in old Eagle after old Eagle, right? They bring in Paris Campbell and Miles Sanders. in addition to Javante Williams, right? The old getting older. It like you said, Rich, right? It is really, really fun to watch, especially when they're your rivals. When bad teams continue to make bad decisions
Yeah.
and double down on
Dumb shit.
dumb, double down on dumb shit. Um, and yet you still haven't found a way to create the cap space for Michael Parsons. It's just
Yeah,
beyond stupid.
I thought that he redid Dak's deal. I thought that they maneuvered money and they were going to have money to sign players.
They
And
did.
then and then Jerry came out what yesterday and today and was like, "Man, we're not even worried about the free agency whole kind of thing. We're just sitting around here waiting to see what we can get in the draft." Well, Jerry, why did you go out and try to free up money if you're not even going to sign anybody?
You freed up $65 million to sign a bunch of guys. It's like we're in high school and like he signed all the we peaked in middle school kids. Like it makes no
Dante
fucking
Fowler.
sense. 13,
Right.
bro.
It's
I don't understand if I'm Michael Parsons how I can
He's
honestly.
gonna he's gonna ask if they keep screwing around. He's gonna ask for out, and there's gonna be a lot of teams that are gonna be willing to give him the money that
ooh,
he's young.
Yeah.
He's productive. He's a game wrecker. Somebody's gonna back up the Brinks truck for him, and pay him and pry him away from there. So they're gonna be in a tough spot because Micah Parsons holds all the cards.
Yeah. I'm so I guess the last domino to fall is Aaron Rodgers to Pittsburgh.
I mean, I gotta think that's
I don't
apparently
understand.
Or they draft a guy.
I don't know how Tomlin's gonna like that. Like
I
how
just
can
his mentality and his mindset, and I'm quarterback Jesus. That shit doesn't fly in Pittsburgh, man. Um, I can't see them being able to coexist
no.
uh, on the same sideline throughout. After a loss or. I mean, Rogers likes he really goes out there and does his own thing. You don't even need an offensive coordinator. He thinks he is the offensive coordinator. So I don't see that being a good fit. I mean,
No.
they need a quarterback, but that's a lot to bring on that personality, that mindset. That it's not about necessarily the team. It's more about what Aaron Rodgers wants to do.
Yeah. I just don't see it. Like and you're not throwing DK or George Pickens under the bus. I think we said this before. They'll just end up
Mhm.
killing you. They don't care. Like, and you look at the weapons that Aaron Rodgers had last year compared to the weapons in Pittsburgh. I mean,
right.
Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams are in a whole other league besides the two guys who were over there in Pittsburgh. Couldn't get the fucking job done. And you had Brees Hall and Braylon Allen. Like, you had weapons with the Jets, and you look like dog shit and could only win 4 or 5 games. I know Mike Tomlin doesn't lose games. It's just he always wins.
Hmm.
But that Aaron Rodgers is not going to be enough to save you. And I think it would be doing Pittsburgh an injustice if Aaron Rodgers does go there. I think they need to look elsewhere and or draft. Like figure it out. I don't think it's just not a good fit. Tomlin is a good coach, but I mean, look what he fucking did to Justin Fields. Nah, he's done. Rush, you're our starter. And we all thought Justin Fields looked good. Justin Fields is winning games. Like
Hmm.
Tomlin doesn't play. Like when shit doesn't go or he doesn't like something, that's it. But you can't do that with Aaron Rodgers. Like it won't fucking happen. So are you giving over control to a narcissistic egomaniac in fucking Aaron Rodgers? Or are you going to bring in somebody who you can help win and like mold into your organization? Because you see what the guy does. He's a cancer. He goes around, he ruins organizations, and it's never his fault. It's always somebody else's fault.
Right.
And he'll go smoke some peyote and talk to a shaman and drink the blood of a beetle or something. And sit in the dark for 3 years. Like, I wish he would just do that now because
Just
I'm
stay
sick
in
of
the.
hearing about it. Just stay in the dark room, Aaron. Like, no one fucking likes you. Like, go away.
Yeah, and listen, the pool of other guys is not super deep
Pretty
either.
horrible.
Like the options of guys that are out there are not they're not
There's
great.
there are about 15 starting NFL caliber quarterbacks in the NFL. 15. Everyone
Yeah.
else, fucking not. Not it. Not it. They stink. And that's just crazy how it is. I mean, even this year's draft, it's kind of Cam Ward and no one. Like, there's not really good
Uh
quarterback
I
prospects
would
out there.
100% agree with you.
Yeah.
Like it could be Cam Ward and then not another guy until the third, fourth round.
I
Now
know
you know
Sanders
there
is
are
going to
teams that
go
are going to
high.
be.
Because of
I
the
know
flag.
Sanders is going to go high, but
Hmm?
I didn't like Sanders at Colorado. I did not think he was that good. And in the pros, dude, I don't think he's going to be. I honestly, I just don't see it. I'm a
Well,
Miami
and
fan. I watch Cam Ward play. Cam Ward can fucking sling it, and he's a big boy.
oh yeah,
Cam Ward can fucking sling it. But when I watch
I ha-
Sanders and Colorado, it's like you didn't beat anybody good.
well
And
that and when you hear people talk about watching them on tape, they kind of walk away very underwhelmed, going, I don't really know what he does exceptional. Like if I'm spending a high first round pick on him, I want you want a guy like that who can step in day one and play.
he can't.
And
He's
he's
JJ
just not
McCarthy 2.0.
correct.
Always throwing on the run. I loved when JJ McCarthy got drafted, and every single highlight that they showed was him rolling out of the pocket because he can't stand in a pocket. It's the
Hmm.
same thing with Sanders. I know they're going to say, well, Colorado had a terrible fucking offensive line. Well, that's Dion's fault. Dion does all the recruiting. Stop recruiting cornerbacks, wide receivers, and running backs. Maybe boost up your fucking offense and defensive line. Your team was trash. And now you got Sanders, like, I'm not going to play for this team, and I'm not going to play for this team. I'm not going to play for this team. I'm like, come on, bro. Like, you're not Eli. And Eli,
No,
I mean, still won 2 Super Bowls. I don't think Eli was the best. We watched him play a ton. But, like, I just don't. This
I
is what you're
mean,
going to get, though, around
yeah.
draft time, is the overhyping of these quarterbacks. You got the dude
Mm.
Dart. Everybody's like,
Yep.
oh, Dart, oh, he's going to be good. I'm like, that fucking guy was all right in college. He was all right.
Right, and he was playing with an all-star team with the guys that they bought on off the NIL
Yeah.
list, and they still were, moderately competitive. So like he wasn't a guy that elevated the play of other guys around him. Like
No.
if I'm Pittsburgh, I'm looking around at other teams' backups, and I would rather do something like that, like a kid that got drafted, like Joe Milton.
Yeah.
Joe Milton that's sitting in New England, third string behind Josh Dobbs,
Yep.
who's 20. I'm looking at he's 6'5", 245. He was a 6th-round pick last year. Like
Yeah.
if I'm Pittsburgh, I go, yo, New England, what is it? What does it take to get Joe Milton? Is it,
Agreed.
we'll give you
Yeah,
a
why not?
5th, we'll give you because if you wanted to, you're either going to draft a guy and bring him in, or I would rather trade for a guy like that who's, he's 25, so he's not, he's not a super young kid coming out of college, and from what I've seen Mike Tomlin be able to do with quarterbacks, I'd
What
rather
about
do that than deal with 40-plus-year-old Aaron Rodgers.
What about the kid from Tennessee who tore his knee up,
Hmm.
and I think he redshirted last year? What was his name?
Hold
Hooker? Was it Hooker? No,
on. Hold on one
I think
second.
he
I'm
went to
pulling
Seattle.
Hendon Hooker.
up.
Is that was he the quarterback for Tennessee?
Oh yeah, University of Tennessee. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
He tore his knee up, and I think he got drafted. I think it was Seattle, right?
May have been. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why not go after a guy like that?
Mhm.
Like, there's plenty of low. Like, if I say to New England, dude, we'll give you a 3 for Milton. If I'm New England, I'm saying, give me. I mean,
right?
if I'm Seattle and I say, yo, I'll give you a 3 for Hooker or Herndon. Fuck, I forget the guy's name, but whatever you guys.
Hendon Hooker, I think it is.
Hendon Hooker.
How about what about Daniel Jones? Is he's backing? Is he backing up J.J. McCarthy? Is he still in Minnesota?
I don't know.
No, Daniel Jones is in Indy.
Indy.
That's
That's
right.
right. He's going to be
Yeah,
competing with
he'll
Richardson.
he'll compete for the starting job with Richardson, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I got to imagine.
I mean, there's got to be guys that Pittsburgh.
Maybe
be
they
like,
do
okay,
that. Maybe Indy goes the Daniel Jones route, and Richardson goes to Pittsburgh.
Could be. I mean,
And
to be honest, I'm surprised the teams didn't come calling for Tanner McKee.
Yeah, you're right. I
You
think.
know, like
I think they made him.
6'5".
He's not.
Like,
No, he wasn't available.
Yeah.
I know, but Joe, listen, we know Howie Roseman. For the
Pigs
right
talk,
price,
true.
you can have anybody on this roster for the right price.
Yeah.
I mean, I say anybody,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
We know what anybody means. Anybody means anybody, but all the really good motherfuckers.
No, I got you.
You ain't getting Jalen Carter, motherfucker. Stop.
Yeah, no.
Don't ask.
Like,
don't ask, don't tell. Back up.
But that whole ordeal and it makes no sense.
No,
And
it's just very strange that they wouldn't have called and did their due diligence and trying to pry, a young guy with upside for a cheap price. I mean, that's what you kind of got to look at. Pittsburgh kind of fucked themselves last year by you signed 2 free agents and then you honestly didn't. I mean, they offered Justin Fields a contract that was similar to the one that the Jets offered him, but Justin said he felt more at home with the Jets than he did at Pittsburgh. So that kind of tells you about the relationship that most likely he had with Tomlin. And to be honest with you, if you're going to make me the starter after last year we had to endure through the bullshit of Russell Wilson, I'm good, bro. You didn't believe in me last year and now you want to believe in me? I'm good. I'm going to move on. And I think Justin Fields can turn it around with the Jets, I just don't
there's enough
understand.
weapons there.
I just don't understand the fascination with Aaron Rodgers, like being your franchise quarterback. I just don't.
Not at this stage.
No.
Yeah.
Like not at this stage. To me, it makes absolutely no sense. I don't understand it for any amount of money for any. There's no rationale for it. Like, to me, like, he's a guy who's 40, who's past his prime, who's already shown you that he's not going to play at that elite level to be able to take your franchise. If I'm Pittsburgh and I'm looking, I got to be competitive with Cincinnati and Baltimore.
Yeah.
Well, Aaron Rodgers ain't doing it. I don't care if you got DK Metcalf. I don't care. It doesn't matter. You brought in Kenny Gainwell. Listen, there's not a whole lot there, and
defensive side of the ball, they're loaded.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
They have a roster on paper, but the problem with them is they haven't been able to figure it out at quarterback since Big Ben, and that's why all this. Hey, I do like Mike Tomlin as a coach. But this whole he doesn't have a losing record, but he also hasn't had a playoff appearance in how long, or a playoff win in how long. I mean, you could say half of that is through drafting and just bad front office moves. I mean, you trade a fucking a 1 or a 2 for DK, and then you threw 150 million at him, and you had no idea who's throwing the ball to.
Yeah.
So you're just wasting the prime of all these guys. Good for DK, secure the bag. You're never going to beat Baltimore or Cincy until Joe Burrow gets traded at the end of this year. Calling it, just letting you know, calling it. It's going to be traded. Because they're not going to fucking win. They're not going to fucking win. The Bengals are not going to win. And honestly, if you have to pay 2 wide receivers that much money, I don't think your quarterback's that good. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
They could have let one of those guys walk, but why didn't they let one of those guys walk? Are they afraid Burrow is going to be exposed if he doesn't have weapons? I'm just wondering. This is like hypothetical. This is a hodgepodge drunk on broad episode.
It's possible.
Not for nothing, but like, he did get surrounded with a lot of talent at LSU, right? We were talking about that last week. When he's got Justin Jefferson and he's got Jamar Chase, and he had to leave Ohio State to go play at LSU.
He's never not had talent.
There there might be a
Might
little
be something there,
smoldering
Rich.
of smoke there, Rich.
I'm just saying the guy had talent, except
Yeah.
at Ohio State where he couldn't start, so he had to leave, and all of a sudden he ends up in LSU with fucking Justin Jefferson, Malik Neighbors, I think was there as like a young buck, and fucking Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Just odd that you have three wide receiver ones that you're throwing the ball to.
Hmm.
Hmm. And
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just my hypothetical.
Well,
I think we would be good if we could throw to those guys.
oh God, yeah.
Just say it.
Yeah. No, and
Remember they
listen,
drafted
Rich,
Jermaine Burton. Thought he was going to be great. They're
yeah.
like, this guy needs to show us something because he stinks. And Jermaine Burton's like, I'm fucking sitting behind Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. What can I show you that will let
What
me
am I?
start?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
This was
And
stupid.
listen, if we go back to the Aaron Rodgers stuff, like the guys that are available, also the list is awful.
Oh, let's play
Like,
a game.
like
Let's
you
play a
ready?
game, Don. Read the
Go.
list and we'll see who will be the GM for Pittsburgh. Who would you sign over Aaron Rodgers? That'll be the game we play. Read the list.
All right, I'm just gonna go in. This is just the order that's on Spot Track. All right, so right under Aaron Rodgers is Trey Lance, who just signed a contract with a team in the CFL. Talk about a
What?
fall from grace.
Wow.
Third overall pick to the CFL. All right, so
Bro.
Trey Lance.
Joe?
I got no, I got nothing, man.
All right, Drew Lock.
Oh,
Right?
no. No.
You ready? 40-year-old Joe Flacco.
Oh, there you go.
Dude, I would sign Joe Flacco.
Absolutely.
I would sign Flacco. You got two guys who just want to go deep. Fucking Chuck, man. Fucking Chuck.
Yeah.
That's it. Fucking
And,
Chuck
and
it.
and he
Flacco
is
and draft.
Yeah.
Flacco.
he is your ultimate game manager, right? He's done that in a lot of places.
Yeah. Dude, honestly, that's
If I
the move
have
I
to
would
sign a
make.
40-year-old quarterback, I'm signing
Going
Joe
Joe Flacco.
Flacco.
Yes.
All right, so the next couple guys on the list: Carson Wentz, Case Keenum, Easton Stick, and Teddy Bridgewater.
No.
LA.
Isn't Teddy coaching like fucking middle school?
I thought he
Teddy was coaching high school for Miami high school football, and then signed a contract with the Lions at the end of the year. And then you got beyond that. I mean, this is how putrid the list is: C.J. Beathard, Tim Boyle, Tyler Huntley, Brett Rippon,
Beathard.
Desmond Ritter, Sam Ellinger. Like, it's bad.
Oof.
That's why, like, my thought when I saw that,
Look at my
thought
face.
was immediately go to, like, I'm trying to poach somebody off somebody else's roster.
Dude, none of those guys are even quality backups.
Flacco.
No.
Flacco.
Out of all those guys. Oh, I missed our guy, Carson Wentz.
Oh, done.
Nah, he's cooked.
So done.
Nah, he's bad.
Trash.
All right. Recent free agency stuff, because there's been a couple guys that have kind of popped off in the last couple of days. The Stephon Diggs to New England.
3 years, $69 million.
Wow.
No thanks. I
Nope.
mean, and the fucking hilarious thing is, they were like, we're not going after Devontae. We're not going after DK because of what star wide receivers can do to young quarterbacks. You literally went after Stephon Diggs, who took like multiple shots at the Bills organization and was a fucking having hissy fits every game with Josh Allen throwing him.
Yep.
So he's been on what, 3 teams? This will be his 4th team in 5 years, 4 years, 5 years.
No, he was on the Bills for 3 years.
But
where
he
did
was
he go
in
after Buffalo? Where did he go after Buffalo?
He went to Texans.
The Texans.
It was Minnesota. Minnesota traded him to
Buffalo. And
Buffalo,
Houston,
Minnesota, Buffalo, Houston, New England.
And now he's in New England.
4.
Yep.
Wait, Minnesota, Buffalo, Texans. Oh, he's been on 3 teams in 3 years. Okay, yeah. 3 teams in 3 years.
right?
What's
And
that
he's
say?
coming off he's coming off the torn ACL, right? Like it.
And he's stealing everybody's
If you
wives.
had to pick between him and Metcalf, I'd probably take Metcalf,
I would have took DK.
Yeah.
right? Like, I mean, they're both they both are what they are, but like
Yeah.
New England is just going to be at the bottom of that division still. Like they're not doing anything to. It might be moderately competitive between them and Miami, but no,
That's not
like
saying much.
and the Jets, like Buffalo really has a nice path to just a very casual, a very casual pocket of wins
Yeah.
every season for the next foreseeable future because New England, Miami, and the Jets are both all of them are all garbage.
It's exactly how New England was during their dynasty, except the Bills can't win a big game.
Especially on the road.
Yeah. I would like to see why isn't Miami signing Joe Flacco? Because you know Tua's gonna be hurt. Like, you have two quality
Yeah.
wide receivers you can't get the ball to when he's not there. Like, fucking another guy. Like, if you have wide receivers who are very, very quick and like to go deep, he should always be your perennial backup no matter what. Just sign the fucking guy because he wants to sling it.
Who's their backup?
Just keep him on retainer.
Who is their backup, Don? Who is the Miami Dolphins
Where's
backup?
Brissett?
Oh, hold on.
Oh, did Jacoby go
Brissett?
down there?
It might be Brissett.
But he doesn't have a big arm.
All right, let's play guess that crappy backup quarterback.
I know Skylar Thompson, I think, is still there.
Oh
no,
God.
they don't. So they do not have a third quarterback on their depth chart. Okay, this guy was signed recently in this offseason. He was a high draft pick.
Oh, Zach Wilson. That's right.
That's right.
Stealer.
He went down to Miami where all the mommies are.
Oh, dude, he's in
all the Cougars.
He's never leaving.
No. Yo, and there's so many moms just from Tyreek Hill. So, like, that's awesome.
Dude, that's true.
Dude, there's like 14 of them. Like, he's going to be, like, pulling moms left and right.
So that either has to be, like, a Netflix docuseries or, like...
5 pregnancies, 4 wins.
Oh, my God. Like I need, like, a behind-the-scenes... Like, I need, like, a Hard Knocks version of, like, that from start to finish.
Because Tyreek Hill, married, wife gives birth to her child. 4 women later, in the same year,
in the
while
same
he's married,
calendar year.
Birth. Wait, how long were they married? 2 years. Well, I'm doing my math correctly. Yeah, that was 9 months ago.
Oh my God,
he's an animal,
dude. It's so great.
I mean,
it's so great. Zach Wilson, fuck.
Yeah.
Real riveting shit.
And they're like they've got I'll put it in air quotes, weapons, right? Between Devon A-Chain and Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle.
They're soft. Yeah. They're so soft.
But like
that team is so soft.
It's bad. Team. It's really bad. And what makes it look even worse is especially their defense after all the whining crybaby bullshit that came out that offseason after they fired Vic right? And how Vic Fangio goes to the Eagles and
wins the Super
Bowl. And everybody turns into like the most elite version of themselves in one offseason.
Yeah. His first year as Eagles defensive coordinator, what happens? They win a Super Bowl, and Miami couldn't even get to the playoffs.
Not only do they win a Super Bowl, but like you find a guy that's on the Saints, on the Saints special teams, and turn him into,
all pro,
an all pro who was, in the running for defensive player of the year, right? You get elite production out of your defensive line. Like you got wild production from 2 rookie DBs. Like
the shit goes full circle.
It really does. And the thing that I love about the Vic Fangio piece, something we talked about during the season, is like, he's just going to be here until he wants to retire.
Yeah. Thank God.
Yeah, exactly. That's so great because, he said that he has no interest in being a head coach anymore. And why would you? You've got the keys to the city. Like you're never gonna buy another drink here the rest of your life. You've got all these young guys, young hungry guys that have already won under your system. Like that's dude. You couldn't ask for a better situation or scenario for the players and for him. So
Not at all.
you just hope that he doesn't. You just hope that he doesn't decide to retire. You know,
He wins another one. Goes, fuck
July,
it. That's enough for
July.
me. It's like what?
Fuck it,
July.
I'm gonna
Vic
go watch
Fangio retires.
It's,
I'm
no.
gonna go watch a
No,
Philly.
you can't. Same thing with Jeff Stoutland. How
Yeah.
long has Stout been here? And I don't know if he wants to be
Do
a
you,
head coach or is interested in doing that. But man, I hope they're saying you can't leave. Here's more money. Please
do you,
leave. Please don't leave us.
That dude's a legend. He ain't going anywhere.
do
No.
you know when he started with the Eagles? Do you know what coach brought him on?
Andy Reid.
Was it Chip?
It was Chip Kelly.
Wow.
Really?
Chip. Two
Yeah.
things that Chip did right. That and Lane Johnson.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Not the only two things he did right.
That
Got
was
rid of Deshaun Jackson.
Oh.
Got rid of Shady.
And he
Got
was
rid of
such-
Jeremy Macklin.
He was
Oh my
such a
God.
pompous ass. I remember going. I had some event where I was able to go to the NovaCare, and tour the facility, and he was there, and he just he popped through like a rat or a mouse, just darted, saw us like we were. He was like a deer in headlights. Had no interest in looking at or speaking with us, and was out of that room in half a second. Douche.
None of that. None of that surprises me, Joe.
No.
Not a single one.
No.
All right. So of the guys that the Eagles brought in, give me your best and worst. Who's the guy you're most and listen, I know Howie was, shopping in the bargain basement area.
Yeah.
We shopped in we got a lot of reclamation projects, guys that are, every single guy that they signed, all signed 1-year deals. So they're the cap hits are, the highest cap hit is the Aziz Ojulari one for $3 million. Everybody else is under $2 million.
Yeah.
Guys that are coming off injuries, guys that are on, prove it deals. Who's the guy you're most excited about?
Go ahead, Joe.
For me, I think it's got to be Ojulari, Aziz Ojulari, the end. I guess he was with the Giants.
Yeah.
And then he had, I guess he's battled some injuries, this and that, but when he's young, he's been
24.
He's young, he's been productive, and I think he's the perfect kind of player that this team needs. Considering the kind of financial situation that they're in, and you bringing guys in here to try to spark up their careers with arguably the best defensive coordinator in the NFL. So that you want to come to a team that's won a championship, that has that championship mentality, and with a defensive coordinator that's gonna, if there's anybody that's going to get him back to a top level with the potential to be an every game starter and a Pro Bowler and a possibility of being an elite player, you've got a guy like Vic Fangio already in here to make that happen. So that's it. If he could stay on the field, I think he has a real legit shot to be the possibility of a perennial Pro Bowler. Who can really come in and be, an every game starter, not just a rotational piece, but he might be that guy to take. He could possibly be that guy to take Josh Sweat's spot.
I would agree, right? And when I'm looking at Spot Track, but I'm looking at his production, right? When you talk about in 17, in 2021 in 17 games he gets 8 sacks. In 2022 in 7 games he gets 6 sacks. In 2023, he's got 11 games, 3 sacks, 11 games, 6 sacks last year. Right? So if he's on the field, he can be productive.
Yeah.
If he comes in for the 1-year deal that he has, and you put him next to Jalen Carter, opposite Nolan Smith, he's going to get some one-on-ones. And when you see the highlights from New York, where he's getting opportunities is on those one-on-ones off the edge. If he can come in and be a 6-8 sack guy,
It's a win.
money well spent.
He's better than Bryce Huff.
Yeah, and
Not
listen,
hard.
that's a deal, right? You're going to be,
Absolutely.
I mean, you're going to be stuck eating that money for a hot minute.
Come on, Detroit. Come on. Make
What
that
is it?
move.
After this, he
Come
has
on.
one more year,
Just-
right?
I know
There's
they
only a
got
3-year deal.
I'd have to look it up, but
They
Yeah.
won a 4 and a 7.
I think it was a 3-year, but Huff had a 3-year deal.
3 for 51.
Okay, so we got
Yeah.
2 more years. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, listen, and
you draft
it
and
was-
replace them, you forget it.
Yeah, you would.
Cap's only going up, so I'm not
Right.
worried about it.
Yeah,
Cap's only going up.
If somebody
The
could
more-
just take him off your hands, you just do it.
but honestly, the more that, like you're saying, Rich, the more that cap goes up, the less and less effect that contract has. But
Yeah.
Rich, who's a guy for you? Who's a guy you're excited about?
Well, I like Ojulari, but I'm also excited about Uche. Like, I think that's great. You got guys who are going to come off the edge, and that's what we need. Youth, young guys, and you had to replace Josh Sweat. You needed to go out there. You got cheap. You didn't spend big money on any of these pass rushers, any of these veterans. The fucking Khalil Mack, $18 million. What Von Miller is going to try to fetch, like just being a pass rush specialist. You
Mhm.
got 2 decent edge guys for dirt cheap.
Yeah.
Howie's like, yo, come to the Eagles. You're going to be in primetime games all the time. You're going to get exposure. Teams are going to notice you when you're getting a sack here and a sack there. You're going to get fucking paid. Just you have to play well. And they're coming
Yeah.
to the Eagles because these guys want deals. And if you do well, you get the Bond treatment. Like, this is how it's going to be.
Mhm.
I'm excited for both those guys. I
Yeah.
think they were key additions that we needed for cheap. And I'm happy we went with youth instead of 18 million to Mac or trading away multiple assets to pay fucking whatchamacallit, Miles Garrett, if that had any like validity
Like,
to
so,
it.
yeah. Yeah, and listen, Josh Uche had the year in 2022 where he had 12 sacks.
Yeah.
So you know that
It's in there somewhere. You hope it comes
it's
back.
somewhere, right? And you think about what happens when you put these guys and surround these guys with talent, that the opportunity that's there. I'm going to go on the other side of the ball. AJ Dillon, if he can be healthy,
Oh,
and he can and he can spell Saquon Barkley to,
I forgot about the quad squad.
Yeah.
I mean, the tush push alone
Woo.
has me Jones, and I'm wildly excited to see the two of them on the field as the pushers. Good luck.
They're gonna fucking shoot Jalen Hurts like 30 yards down the field if they push him hard enough. Zoom!
Yeah.
Oh god, he
But
kicked the field goal. Fuck.
They threw Jalen Hurts through the field goal.
Is that 3 or is it 7? I don't know. The ball crossed the plane, but it was in the air. It's too high. I don't know.
But like
Fucking
I
crazy.
like that addition. I like that addition. He's a good. You're going to get the pass catching. Again, if he can stay healthy.
Yeah.
He's got the neck injury. He's got an opportunity to give Saquon Barkley the spell when he needs it. And I don't think that there's the drop off is not nearly as much.
No.
You're still going to have Will Shipley, who showed some speed and some elusiveness when he was getting on the field. You're probably going to see his role elevate a little bit more, probably fall into that Kenny Gainwell role. I don't know. He's just the guy that they brought in that I'm like, I'm the expectation. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, he's going to come in here and rush for 1,000 yards. No, that's not going to be his role. His role is going to be to spell Saquon Barkley and give him the opportunity to be, as close to I don't know if it's probably completely unrealistic for us to expect Saquon Barkley to have a year like he had. But for him to have the opportunity to give
You're
Saquon
right, because
Barkley
it's gonna be better.
oh shit.
What?
3,000 yards. Let's go, baby. Start them up.
Listen, we said it a million times. If he played every game, the whole game,
He
he
might.
would have been he would have obliterated that
He had
number.
2,500, right?
Yeah.
He had 2,500, and he basically sat
I
out
sat out the
at
fourth quarter of
the
how many games?
well, he sat out the whole last game, and
Yep.
he probably sat out the equivalent of like a whole nother game,
Game.
if not more.
That's fucking nuts, dude. He's
That's fucking wow, man. His stats, man, just
Disgusting.
really disgusting. It's really gross.
Yeah.
Do you
Get
have a
him out of
worse?
here.
I mean, there's not. I really don't feel like
Rate 'em.
there's like the guys that you brought in. None of them I'm really like that was fucking stupid.
Who's the guy they just brought in? Kelly Ford or what's his name?
Kendall Lamb.
Yeah, I was way.
Lineman. Yeah, that's another sneaky under the radar.
I mean, he's replacing Fred.
How he moved, but he's a swing tackle. I think he started 7 games.
Yeah.
And he played well. And then you're giving him the Stout. So, I mean, between him and the what is that, Green, the guy they traded for?
Yeah.
One of those guys, at least one of those guys has to hit. So, I have no doubt that at least one of those guys are going to hit. And then there's another guy out there that a lot of people forgot about because he was hurt, I think, during the regular season. What is that? Keegan from Michigan?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I mean, he got in the last game.
He got in the last game, but I think he might have been banged up during the year. But they said, I mean, he was good in training camp. They liked the way he had played, and then he got banged up. So, that's another guy who's, he's got a year under his belt, and he might, he might be in that rotation, in that mix, and might really help them out a lot. So,
I mean, you're definitely going to have some numbers, right? Tyler Steen's going to be in that mix.
right.
Start, and I think it kind of starts with that, and then that everybody else knows that where they're going to draft in these first couple rounds is going to be in the trenches.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious to see how it shakes out. But any guys that are guys that you think they might bring in post draft?
I would like to say Simmons, but I don't think that's going to happen. I could see them bringing.
I think that move, Rich, depends on if they draft a safety.
Yeah, because he's not going anywhere, and you're going to look at. I'm keeping an eye on Zadarius Smith and Judon, just for the fact of rotational guys, and I feel as it gets longer and longer and closer to draft day and after draft day, their price is going to significantly come down. And you'll be able to work in maybe one of those guys too, just as a rotational piece.
Mm-hmm.
Wait for the guys you drafted to develop.
Joe, you got anybody?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, looking at the receiver room, I guess I'm guessing that they're happy with Jahan. He'll have more time under his belt in the off season to get prepared for this season. But I mean, it's Jahan and then Johnny Wilson. I guess you hope he can make some more strides heading into the season. But I don't see why they couldn't add another depth piece. A guy who could do. I mean, they signed Avery Williams is your punt returner or your kick returner?
Yeah, I mean they did bring in who's the kid they brought in?
Avery Williams.
Yeah, Avery Williams.
Atlanta.
Right. That the odds are is that he's probably going to be your kick and punt returner.
Both. Okay.
If I'm looking at it right, if I can keep Cooper DeJean off the field on special teams,
yeah,
I'm in. The guy that I love, he's old as hell right now, but I would love to just put him in the D line room is Calais Campbell.
Yeah, who doesn't want Calais Campbell?
Huge, he's massive.
Right? Like he's just a massive dude, and I think that when I look at that D tackle room, it's really young. Right? When you look at Jordan Davis and Morrow, Jomo, and then it's not really anybody after
They have
that.
much after
Like,
that. Yeah.
so you know that they're going to draft somebody. I would love to bring in like an old vet
Old head. Yeah.
that just like and and then the thought of him and Jalen Carter being on the field at the same time is just something that I'm like, that makes a lot of sense.
Was he with Vic in Miami?
Was.
Yeah. So there's that connection there too. So, yeah, they're playing the long game with these guys. You know, like you said, the draft. They'll see how the draft route they go. And it's at this point in the career with these guys, it's like, you might have to take a couple million less if you really are all about, playing team ball and winning a championship as a team.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting to see what these guys, how that all shakes out. What happens with these other teams. I mean, Dallas is being Dallas. There's rumors floating around about Dak and what they're going to do with their money and this and that. And I love it because as long as Jerry's in charge, we're just
Ain't shit gonna change,
it's
baby.
like that
Nope.
Christmas morning.
He's going to keep trying to find that glory hole.
Yeah.
The absolute glory hole, Don.
Oh. Nice. Nice. Well, gentlemen, before we get into final thoughts, did you see the news that dropped about an hour ago?
What?
The Eagles are officially letting go of their iconic pep band.
What?
I got to share the screen. It
No.
says
Rid of
that
art.
they're
Why?
yeah.
They
I'm
have to
gonna
sign
just-
Jalen Carter.
Damn, they are hurting.
In this economy,
Holy crap.
Yeah, here we go.
Inflation.
You ready?
Oh,
Let's just spotlight it. Yeah, the Eagles are letting go of their iconic pep band, according to the band member. The band has been playing "Fly Eagles Fly" for every score for the last 28 seasons.
no way.
As their on-field entertainment is quote unquote evolving.
Baloney.
And this is via CBS Philadelphia, so this is not like a Bobo story. So
That's sad.
I don't like that
At all.
at all.
Come on. We need to go
For what? This is where I go. You're getting rid of them for what? What
Right.
what like?
Did
I
something
don't-
happen? Like
I
they
think
can't-
what I
they
think
can't be
somebody
They
I
can't
think
be
somebody
that
did something.
expensive. They
I
can't
think
be that. They can't be that much.
somebody
just
might have
won a Super
posted
Bowl.
something probably that they shouldn't have or said something that they shouldn't have, and they're like, "Yo, we're gonna let you go because you're gonna fucking get us destroyed." So yeah, something had to happen. They're not just gonna be like, "Yeah, we're letting these guys go." I think something had to happen, and they're just trying to be very
The
cordial about
whole
it.
band.
You can't get rid of just one, then you're
They're breaking
isolating the
up
problem.
band?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
breaking up the band.
Dude, come on, Howie. Come on.
Looks
Sign
like
them.
we might have to
But
get.
how much do they need? Start a GoFundMe. We'll start a GoFundMe.
That's horrendous.
Oh God! If I were them, I'd just show up out in the park, just play the parking lot.
Go to
Like,
the tailgates.
just play the tailgates.
Bring your shit. Throw a jersey on.
Well, Christ's sake, for what the tailgates? They got the people's bench press. They got,
Yeah.
there's
Bring your
enough
tip
fun
cup.
entertainment stuff out there that you can find your niche.
Bring your tip cups. Come on, guys. Come on, please stick around.
You said bring your tip cups.
Bring your tip cups. Let us gingerly touch our tips.
Oh God!
Venmo, Cash App.
officially
Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, PayPal. You got Apple Pay? I got Android Pay. Come on.
Oh man, that really is sad, man. 28
Yeah.
years.
Yeah. So
Joe's heartbroken.
I might cry when we go off air. I actually started tearing up a little bit. Nah, I got excited seeing them. Every time I would see, every time you hear them, whether you're seeing them or hearing them, you get
Dude.
you a little excited in the pantalones.
I had no idea that there was actually people playing. I thought it was just through the loudspeaker anyway, bro. So I had fucking no clue.
Damn, Rich.
Rich like, oh, fuck it. I didn't even
Kick
know
a
they were
mother
there.
now,
I
why
didn't
don't
know.
you?
My bad. I didn't know. I thought it was
Kick
just
a
a
mother now.
CD. Yo,
Hey,
put
I'm
the
running the
CD in the
bus.
fight song on.
Help! I'm under
Oh,
the
God.
Eagles bus.
Oh, my goodness. That is too much. Jesus Christ.
Didn't
All right,
know
gentlemen,
that.
final
Son
thoughts.
of a bitch.
Oh, I didn't know the Eagles people were real. Fuck. Sorry, Pep Band.
Yeah,
Uh,
that is definitely it's a little bit it's a little chilly, Howie and Jeff. A little chilly.
Anybody got final thoughts?
yeah,
I'm excited about baseball. Baseball opening day tomorrow.
Joe
Who?
just
Who?
the
I mean,
Pep
listen.
Band, Don.
I know.
Listen.
Jesus.
The pep band ain't going anywhere. They'll be
They'll
fine.
be at the
They'll
Philly
be playing.
Stadium on.
Listen, they'll be playing tailgates and weddings and
Yes, they
all
will.
sorts
They
of
will.
stuff. They
Oh,
will be. There is no doubt in my mind that they will be gainfully employed
that's
because
fucking great.
everybody and their mother that loves the birds will go. Oh, you want to play at our wedding? Oh, you want to play at our bar mitzvahs? They'll be playing weddings and bar mitzvahs
For the rest of the time, yeah.
every weekend until the rest of their days.
That's fucking
They'll
great.
be okay. They just gonna play outside the stadium and not inside.
Fair, fair, fair.
Yeah.
Sucks
Oh,
to be them. Sorry.
that's
Maybe they
crushing.
shouldn't have done something shady where they had to let them go.
Let them
Yeah.
go.
Hey, when you show up to a kid's birthday party, you're supposed to dance. So you might.
Oh, God. Oh, God. And for final thoughts, I'm excited about opening day. Go Phils.
Go Phils. For my final thoughts. Jesus Christ. I'm just fucking Joe got me with the pants thing. That was just too
I'm
good.
sorry.
It's
I'm
too good.
sorry, guys.
My final thoughts is yo, go watch Wicked if you can.
Okay.
It was great. There's a second part coming out November 2025. So yeah, watch Wicked. I don't like musicals like that, but it's pretty cool. So
Is that a Disney Plus, Rich?
Peacock.
Peacock. All right.
You guys should have it because the NFL, decided to put games on it and make everybody pay for it. So you guys should probably have Peacock.
Oh, God. You're not wrong. Joe, you got anything? Final thoughts?
Uh,
Joe,
We're-
I got something for you.
we're
Give me
gonna
a
miss.
final
We're
thought
gonna
on the.
miss the Eagles pep band.
Get the fuck out of here, Joe. Joe on the way out. Give me a final. Give me a five. Give me a 60-second final thought rant on the status of the current basketball and hockey franchises in this league.
Oh fuck my
Give me
life!
give me 60 seconds, Joe.
I'm going to jail after this, dude. I don't know what is going. You know what? The Flyers are young. The Flyers, I think, through all of this, are still headed in the right direction because I think they have the right ownership and the right president and the right general manager. The Sixers, on the other hand, are a fucking disaster.
Oh yeah.
You
And
mean
it
the
starts
Bluecoats?
with the owner, Josh Harris, who
Yeah.
is an absentee owner who really only cares about the Washington Commanders right now. All fine and good. You own and you spread yourself out too thin. You own Washington, you own the Devils, and you own the Sixers. And you're putting all your eggs in the basket with the Washington Commanders, and now here we are stuck with the Sixers. Who's running that team? Who's making those decisions? And it's translating out of the court. It's translating to the stadium. The people aren't showing up. These guys aren't playing the games. Nick Nurse looks like he wants to go jump off the Ben Franklin Bridge, and you roll him out there and put him in front of the microphone every night after a loss. They're talking about, is Maxey going to play? Is Maxey not going to play? They shut down Paul George. What's going on with Joel Embiid? It is a complete and utter clusterfuck. And there's no, I don't, the only silver lining out of this, you have Maxey, you have McCain, and you have this young guy, Grimes, who they wouldn't have even found out about if all these guys weren't playing. So you only hope that they can get healthy, play together, and and try to win some games. But then you still the elephant in the room is Joel Embiid. What is going to happen with him? What really is going on with him health wise, and what are they actually going to do? It's time for the team to tell us the truth about what they're going to do with him going forward, because we need to know, the fans need to know, the city deserves to know what the fuck is going on. And Daryl Morey needed to be fired before the season even started. This whole year was a whole lot of backed up dehydrated bullshit that we had to deal with all year, because they never told us anything. They never told us anything.
No.
And what's real and what's not real, we don't know. And here we are, and our team is shit because of injuries and because of the way the front office has handled all this. But going back to the Flyers, I think they're on the rise. You know, they need some scoring. They might need a goaltender, but I think they're still going to be able to trend in the right direction. They freed up some money, and they have got a boatload of draft picks.
Take us home, Rich.
Yo, all I'm saying is the Sixers sound like they could use a pep band.
Yo, that's great. That would be a great move.
That would be great. Sixers have not been the same since Piano Girl got isolated off of Twitter. Remember that?
That was you are not wrong.
Sixers haven't been good since she stopped doing the fight song or doing the keyboard. Just saying.
Clap your hands.
And that's the problem. Philly, you ruined it. You ruined it for the Sixers by getting rid of the Piano Girl. Well, we're drunk on broad. Don, he's that way. Joe's that way. I'm Rich. You stuck around, you fucked around, you found out. As always, it's fuck Dallas. Davion Taylor, you're still getting one. I'm still holding grudges. Spike.
Davion Taylor.
Yeah, he got another stray. Yeah, we got to get him on the show. I got to talk to this guy.
He could be the extra member of the band.
He could do it. He He never forced a turnover.
Would you go see them play if he was with them?
We're drunk on broad. Good night.
Good night.
Keep your pants on, folks.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions.